there. Can I address some of the stuff early on?
Sure, all of it. That'd be great.
Because you threw a lot out. The Pew Resource Center.
The Pew Research Center
Said the perception is different from reality.
Right.
Perception is different from reality.
And he said felt. People feel that they're targeted.
Well, okay. Perception is different from reality, and I'm glad that you found a little bit of research that backs up your claim. If you look at other research, there's a lot of research out there, and you can always find something that backs up your claim. But we want cold, hard facts, not what someone's feeling. Cold, hard facts. These men and women are not racist. They're not targeting people of color.
He didn't make that accusation. He talked about perception.
Okay.
That was the question. Now to my other question, what are 3 resources you believe are reliable that people should use?
I think John Solomon Just the News is one of the most reliable, and I think Epic Times is reliable. I think they cover things fairly. And then I look to a couple of independent journalists, Cheryl Atkinson. That's who I go to, and those are 3 sources I trust. Don't trust a lot of them in this room, and I think one person that I do like a lot is Jordan, because at least he has the courage to stand up against the narrative that the mainstream media pushes. And he probably has more viewers than you guys, actually, because he does have that courage. I know that, Joe, and I hate to say it, I get access to the ratings. And, you know, TV markets here in Arizona have access to about 6.5, 7 million people. That's a huge TV market. That's what you have access to every night when you put your 10 o'clock news on. You have reach of about 7 million people, but only 2,000 people watch your newscast on average. That's pretty pathetic. That shows you that the public has lost their trust in you. I looked at some actual research and facts and stats that showed that when it comes to trust, Joe Biden, Congress, both have more trust than media. And I think you guys need to work on that. I really, really do. Because I don't want to see you all go under and have 0 viewers. Well, maybe I do, actually, but I hope that you don't want that. I hope that you don't want that. I hope that you love this community enough to be fair, cover these men and women fairly, cover crime fairly, and not just push a liberal agenda.
Since you're here, I just have to throw this at you, and because you live in a border state that has borne the brunt of the lawlessness on our border. We've just received digital footage of illegal aliens being dropped off in Martha's Vineyard. Apparently, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, flew them there on the idea that communities, border towns in Texas and Arizona are bearing all the brunt, and maybe the people who make these policies should have to live with them. What's your view of this?
You know, I get a kick out of it watching these liberal mayors just, you know, throw their hands up and say we can't handle it because it's life every day for us in these border states. However, I'm not a fan of it, Tucker. I mean, we're just taking people here illegally who shouldn't be here. We're moving them further inland. My plan is the most bold, aggressive plan on the border. We're going to secure the border. We're going to call it what it is, issue a declaration of invasion on day 1, get troops on the border in the form of our National Guard. We're going to stop people from coming over, and we're going to stop the cartels from having control of our border. I don't like it as a mother, and I know no Arizonan likes it, that we are the pipeline for the most dangerous, deadly drug this country's ever seen, called fentanyl. #1 killer of young people. It's all coming through Arizona because Joe Biden gave control of our border to the cartels. And on day 1, we're going to invoke our Article 1, Section 10 authority and take back control of our border away from the federal government. It's a dereliction of duty what they've done.
Yes.
And we're not going to let Joe Biden drag the state of Arizona down while he's trying to destroy this country.
Amen. Boy, I can see why they're trying to stop you.
DeSantis is a savage for sending migrants to Martha's Vineyard. Him and the Republicans that are doing this are genius. They send migrants directly to the doorstep of the Democrats who think that the border crisis isn't real, and demonize Republicans for saying that they want stronger border control. How can they ignore it now? It's impossible. All of the ritzy liberals on Martha's Vineyard now are going to have to see the reality of the border crisis. You know, what are we supposed to do with these people? That is the reality every day down at the border. We have, you know, thousands of migrants coming across the border. They're becoming a burden on the American taxpayer, etc., and the people down there just have to deal with that as a daily reality, while Democrats demonize them for saying that they need help. Let's see the Democrats now try to ignore the border crisis. I think that Republicans should keep this up. Send planes and buses all across the country, to Democrat cities. Anyone who ever said that the border crisis isn't real, or said that we need to have open borders and let everybody in unmitigated, show them the reality of this crisis and see what they say now.